This is taking too long, one at a time. They've been in the water now a long time, but we got to speed this up. So we asked if they had any other equipment. And again, that radio, that mutual aid, no one was answering that radio. So I just gave up on the mutual aid, and we talked by loudspeaker with the people that were on the shoreline. And the next thing I know, they ran over with what's called a throw buoy that you would use, and the buoy was about this big around. It wasn't meant for a person to go through. It was meant for you to put your arms through with and I think it probably had about a 25-foot rope. They threw that up to us, so off we went. Gene tied it in. So now we had a throw buoy and a helicopter tow rope as our rescue equipment. But we needed to speed this up. We had 4 people left at the aircraft. One of them, all we ever saw was his face and his hands. That was Arlen Williams. The other 3, Joe Stiley took the ring buoy, put one arm through it and his head through it, but his shoulder was free. Priscilla Torado, he grabbed a hold of her, so he was just holding on to her. And then Patricia Felch grabbed the tow rope, but only by holding it with a bare hand. I would ask you, go to a summer barbecue. Find the ice bucket with the drinks. Put your hand in the ice bucket for 20 minutes. Then I'm going to give you a rope and try and pick you up. She held on for an astonishing amount of distance, considering she had a broken arm, a broken wrist, broken leg, internal injuries, and a puncture wound that caused almost her to lose her foot. We began a trip with 3, with Patricia Felch, Priscilla Torado being held on to by Joe Stiley. Joe Stiley halfway through a ring buoy that wasn't meant for you to go all the way inside of. Not surprisingly, it wasn't very long before Patricia Felch let go. So when she dropped off into open water, and luckily she had a PFD on. So she was waiting there for us. Joe held on to Priscilla, and as we got to shore, we had blown all that ice ahead of us, and we had now about 20 yards where we had to physically drag them through 3-inch thick ice floes. Joe held on to her all the way to the point where they were within 20 feet of shore, lost his grip on her.